Hello and welcome. We all know that Padma Awards are awarded to people for excellence in their work and for their contribution to society. Dr. S.B. Mujumdar was awarded Padma Shri in 2005 for his contribution in the field of education, and now he is awarded Padma Bhushan for his great contribution in the field of education in India.
पद्म भूषण प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर शांताराम बलवंत मुजुमदार, साहित्य एवं शिक्षा।
Dr. S.B. Mujumdar himself is with us today. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
First of all, please accept our heartiest congratulations on receiving Padma Bhushan. It may sound as a cliche, but how does it feel to receive this award at this stage?
I feel delighted and excited, but I also feel that Padma Bhushan award to me is recognition of whatever little performance I have shown in education field, but at the same time it is also an expectation that I must do something more than what I have done during all these years. So I feel very happy, a sense of fulfillment of what I have done during the last 40 years in higher education has been recognized. I dedicate this Padma Bhushan award to my organization, to my university, to the professors, to the students who have made the university one of the top 10 universities in our country.
What attributes do you attach to the success of Symbiosis?
Number one, we while appointing directors and principals, we consider only their qualifications, and we appoint them irrespective of caste, creed, religion, region, and therefore having appointed these talented professors and principals and directors, we give them full autonomy, so that the director or principal feels that he is the custodian of that institution. Number one. Number two, we select our students purely on merit. We conduct all India entrance test, and based on their performance, followed by performance in group discussion interview, students are selected. So on the one hand there is quality faculty, on the other hand there are students selected on merit. Put together, quality education emerges, and when quality education is given to the students, naturally they shine in their life.
Yes,
they
absolutely.
get brilliant careers and they become wonderful brand products of Symbiosis.
Did you always think it like that? Did you always want to get into education, and what prompted you to start Symbiosis?
Oh, absolutely. In order to bring Indian and foreign students together and to promote friendship and understanding between them, let there be some small organization, and I gave it a name Symbiosis, because symbiosis is a word which is very often used in botany and zoology. It means when two plants and two different animals live together for mutual benefit of each other, it is called symbiosis. हिंदी में आप ऐसा बोल सकते हैं वो सहजीवन होता है, और सहजीवन में भिन्न वनस्पति और भिन्न प्लांट और भिन्न एनिमल्स, they help each other, and by helping each other they survive, they prosper.
So, Dr.
I thought that
Mujumdar,
foreign students may have different nationalities, different mother tongues, they may have different colors, cultures. Why not, if they live together, foreign and Indian students, perhaps they will understand each other, and ultimately they will become our ambassadors of goodwill.
Right.
So that time it was not my intention to start educational institutions. But in those days, we used to perform Diwali, Raksha Bandhan, Eid, Bhav, and we used to bring Indian and foreign students on one platform. But after that function, they used to forget. So I, perhaps being a teacher myself, thought that education will bring foreign and Indian students together on a longer duration. They will happily live together in hostels, read together in classrooms, play together on playgrounds, and being together on various fora, they will understand each other. And believe me, this experiment succeeded. We started law college, then management, and now we are 40 institutions. And in 2002, I am glad to tell you, and it was a landmark, Government of India recognized our excellence and they gave us deemed to be university status.
Oh, great.
So
you have been in education field for decades now.
For 50 years I am in education.
I would say even earlier, when you were a student also,
Yeah.
when you were at the other end of it.
True.
So how have you seen the Indian education system changing over the decades?
My personal feeling is our Indian higher education, and I am talking about higher education because I have been in that for last so many years. Indian higher education produces unemployable manpower, unemployable graduates. Conventional education in arts, science, commerce, they produce graduates, but those graduates are of no use to the society,
Right.
no use to the community, they are of no use to the country. Why? Because they don't have any skills. And therefore, I feel that future education of our country should be skill development education. Personally, I feel that skilled youth must be our mantra in education, because skill development leads to a wonderful workforce which is required by our country. Chanakya once said long ago that a skilled youth is not afraid of unemployment. So what we need is skilled universities. Today there are ITI, there are polytechnics, but that is not enough.
Right.
We need skill colleges, skilled universities which will give them BA, BSc, MA, MSc and even PhDs in one or the other type of skills. And I am happy to tell you that such universities exist in many countries. For example, in Germany there are 162 skill universities. In
Wow.
China there are more than 100 skill universities. Unfortunately, in India there is not a single skill university. So the future of India lies in skill university.
So there
And
is
I must tell you that we are trying our level best to persuade government to allow Symbiosis to start skill university.
Oh,
in
that'll be so
future.
good. It's a good news for all the students who are watching us.
Yes.
But when we talk about the focused education, like in today's scenario, it is at the 11th standard or at 12th standard when you can opt. Like if I want to be a doctor, I should choose a science stream. I should study biology. But then there is another opinion which says that it should be even at the earlier level. If I want to be a writer, why am I compelled to study maths so hard? Why am I supposed to score really good in that subject as well? What is your point of view?
Personally, I feel that up to standard 12, a student should be acquainted with various subjects like mathematics, chemistry, physics, English, and for that matter even languages. But after 12th, very few students join vocational courses. It would interest you to know that there are about 1 crore students in higher education stream. Out of 1 crore, 80 lakh students are in conventional educational stream like arts, science, commerce. Only 20 lakh pursue vocational courses such as law, medicine, engineering, management. Now I am more worried about these 80 lakh students. because as I told you, they don't have any skills. Therefore, they become unemployed. And why they are unemployed? Because they are unemployable. So, it is for these 80 lakh students that we must find out ways and means to make them employable, and according to me, skill based universities, skilled universities or vocational universities is the only answer. And I am glad that our government has realized it. The Prime Minister of India has established what they call India Skill Development Corporation, and I am glad that 70,000 crores have been earmarked for skill development.
So, we will talk a lot more about the issues affecting Indian education system and your personal life as well as we come back after a short break. Welcome back. We have Dr. S.B. Mujumdar, the President and Founder of Symbiosis with us. Sir, as we are talking about the Indian education system, do you think we don't have good talents in teaching staff?
At present, there is shortage and paucity of good teachers at various levels, at primary level, at secondary level, at tertiary level. Reason being, teaching is not a lucrative and attractive profession for many young boys and girls.
Right. But can't it be made so?
Breakthrough can be achieved provided we give due respect to the teachers.
Right.
Secondly, we give them fairly good salaries, security of their jobs, pension, even family pension. But more importantly, teachers have to be trained. The train the trainer must be undertaken on a large scale. And secondly, we must create institutions which will produce creative and quality teachers for our country.
Yes.
At one time, teaching was a noble profession. It is still a noble profession. And I still remember that those good old teachers in primary school and secondary school and even professors in colleges. They used to take pride in telling to the society that yes, I am a professor,
Yes.
I am a teacher. Where is that feeling gone? Which means there is something wrong with society. So, there should be special efforts to create good teachers who will impart quality education, because unless quality teachers are there, there won't be quality education.
Teaching used to be a noble deed, but no longer. But the perception has changed. Maybe because the institutions that are being run these days, or the private schools, these are more to mint money.
Unfortunately, there are many universities and schools, and especially vocational colleges like medicine and law colleges and other, even B schools. It is unfortunate, but then I have an answer to that, and the answer is what happened in 1991 in field of economy must happen in education. Today, license permit Raj is very much there, and because of license permit Raj, the growth of education is considerably stunted. And so what happens is, if you get a permit to start engineering college, or if you get a permission to start medical college, then that becomes your monopoly.
Yes.
And you start doing malpractices, such as charging donation against admission. But imagine, there is liberalization, globalization and privatization, and there is competition among foreign students and Indian students, among one Indian university and another university. I do believe that competition gives birth to quality.
Yes.
And when competition leads to quality, fees will also come down, because there will be so many competitors.
Right.
So, only way is to remove permit license Raj in education. Honestly speaking, India needs third freedom. In 1947, we got political freedom. In 1991, economic freedom?
Yes.
What about education freedom? We need education freedom.
Right.
To put it in different way, I often say in 1947 भारत माता स्वतंत्र हुई, 1991 में लक्ष्मी सरस्वती स्वतंत्र हुई, नहीं सरस्वती कब स्वतंत्र होगी?
जी जी बिल्कुल.
And the bright future of Indian education lies in making education free of license and permit.
आपके समय में जैसे था, जिसको हम गुरु शिष्य परंपरा भी कहते हैं, और जैसा बहुत लोगों का मानना है कि धीरे धीरे रिलेशनशिप जो है, वो संबंध जो था, वो कहीं खोता हुआ नजर आया.
At one time there was Gurukul system. A teacher used to sit in his ashram and few students used to sit in front of him in a semicircle. Teacher knew everything about every student.
Yes.
He used to know the family of the student, the first name of the student, his temperament, and there was almost a family bond. Acharya Devabho, that was a wonderful concept
Yes.
in Indian culture. But what happened was, as things progress, as time passed, the whole scenario changed. But even then, 25 years ago, 50 years ago, this bond was very much there between teacher and student. Now what has happened is, teacher's role unfortunately has become minimal. Why? Because TV, internet, satellite, so many media are there, and you can get information with a click. On internet you can get, so today's guru has become internet, and the role of a teacher has become minimal. But what we are talking about is, what about the respect the
Yes.
teacher used to enjoy, and in return what about affection teacher used to have about his student? That has to be revived, and we have to find ways and means to make it happen. To me, one way is, today if you go to any college, there are 70 students, there are 100 students in one classroom, and teacher comes, delivers lecture and goes away. It is not possible for him to keep personal contacts with
Right.
students. So there has to be, we have to introduce the concept of mentorship. A teacher must now become an individual mentor of the student. And suppose there are 50 teachers in a college, they must adopt students and act as their mentor, a friend and a guide. Only this mentorship will bring a close relationship between teacher and student. It is only on 5th September when Teachers' Day is celebrated that we worship teacher.
Yes.
No, every day should be a Teachers' Day.
Do you still take classes? Do you still teach?
For me, teaching was a meditation. Teaching to मेरा ध्यान था, ध्यान.
जी.
But then what happened was, after I established Symbiosis and Symbiosis started growing, and now that it has become a university and I have become its chancellor, I am sorry, I have lost the pleasure of teaching. But I do keep in touch with my students. I do keep myself in touch with professors. And I tell you one beautiful experience that I get every day. To be in the company of young students, to be in the company of young talented professors is a pleasure of my life. I
And this
enjoy
is where
that.
you get your energy from, I guess,
That's
at the
it.
age of 76.
They keep me comparatively young in mind if not in body.
Every student or every child, if we assume, is getting education in India. 70% of the population is rural. तो एक बच्चे को शिक्षा गांव में मिलती है, एक को शहर में मिलती है, दोनों में जमीन और आसमान का फर्क है उन बच्चों में. और फिर जब वो दो बच्चे एक क्लास में आपस में मिलते हैं किसी शहर के इंस्टीट्यूट में, तो वो कैसे कोप करे?
क्या हुआ है, भारत, our country is divided into two. One is called India, second is called Bharat. आप जो बात कर रहे हैं वो भारत की बात कर रहे हैं. Bharat is basically a rural India,
जी.
whereas India is basically and mostly urban area. Now, जब भारत रूरल खेड़ों से एक लड़का शहर के कॉलेज में आता है, वो मिसमैच होता है. क्यों मिसमैच होता है? He is not exposed to sophisticated environment in a village. His surroundings are totally different. His friends are totally different. The language he speaks is basically a mother tongue.
Yes.
When he comes in cities and joins a college, the first difference that you notice is the way he communicates,
Yes.
the language he speaks, and the only way I repeat is to teach rural students soft skills, English communication, interpersonal communication. Soft skills also include how to dress, how to give interview, how to walk, how to talk. You see, this finishing school जो बोलते हैं ना, finishing school में क्या होता है? They basically improve your quality, personality, and most importantly, style of communication. If that is there, that is made available to students coming from rural areas, this gap will be considerably narrowed down, and I am sure after 6 months or 8 months, there won't be any difference as far as between rural student and urban student.
पर इसमें आपका क्या सुझाव है? जैसा आपने कहा कि लैंग्वेज भाषा एक बहुत बड़ी
Soft
चीज है.
skill course, we have to give some special bridge courses for rural students, backward students coming from rural areas. Soft skills will make them sophisticated students. जो वो हीरा जो होता है ना, उसको पहलू होना चाहिए, और you have to sharpen the diamond. So likewise you have to sharpen rural students in order to bring them up to the level of urban students.
You were born in Kolhapur, then you studied, your schooling was in Pune, and you did your college also from Pune. You started your career in Pune, and even now you are running the institute in Pune. So what does Pune mean to you?
I tell you, God was kind to me. God was kind to me. But I tell you one thing. I studied very hard. I worked very hard. And I realized that in life there is no substitute to hard work.
Yes.
I have learned one lesson. Hard work, perseverance and prayer. To put it the other way, pratibha,
जी.
prayatna and prarthana.
जी.
These are the 3 words which I have scrupulously understood, and I have imbibed the spirit of these 3 words. You must be innovative in the first thing. You must have some innovative purpose. But that is not enough. You have to work hard. You have to show perseverance, patience, and in your mission you must learn to swallow humiliation, insults, and even then if nothing happens, prayer of a pure heart never goes unanswered. So personally I will give credit first to the kindness of God, but also to the hard work, perseverance and prayer.
There was such a wonderful message also in your answer itself for our youngsters today. So thank you so much for coming to our show. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.